It's Week 14 of the NFL, and we'll see Brock Purdy. After his last game, he's now across 3,000 yards for the season. It's the Lions and the Packers on Thursday night.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games. Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, they've come in on a nice run of recent form. 4 wins out of 5. 3 quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And this opening dynamic kickoff not going to be returned. It'll come out to the 30-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
But when I reviewed last 4 touchdown passes that he threw, I thought about you during the Turkey Bowl last year.
Yeah,
you guys
right.
had the same stats, except he got the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award with his.
He got touchdowns. I got picks. I like going back watching the film with you, and we thought it was a good performance in person. Obviously it was, but you thought even better on tape. It was really something to watch.
Yeah, what I love was how he spread it around. A lot of people involved in the passing offense. 4 touchdown passes culminated it.
On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Throwing now is Geno. No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. Joseph Osai in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. On 4th down on his Logan Cook to punt. Back deep is Charlie Jones. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Lions will take over. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by their 3rd-year quarterback.
I like this guy. And the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now Purdy. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. Purdy now to throw off the play action. And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. From the gun, here's a run by Gainwell. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
It always helps when you get great run support from your safeties, and when you get one who can actually read the play and get upfield and shut it down before it gets going, it's exactly what you're looking for.
Purdy now to throw. Got his man, it's Gainwell. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be 4th down. And here's Trenton Gill on to punt. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Geno now to throw. Dumps it off to Fournette. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain on the play. And it's second down. A shotgun snap for Smith. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. Calling a gain of 6 on the play. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Now Geno.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Foyesade American.
And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
The Lions offense led by their running back headed out for the second possession. We show you the NFL leaders in rushing touchdowns. You can see where he's right up there amongst the league's best at finding the end zone. On 1st and 10, it's Gainwell. The numbers on the ground for Gainwell last week.
20 carries, 111 for yards, and a touchdown.
Well, obviously, he didn't have a great deal of time between games, having to turn around on a short week and get ready for Thursday night football. But he said in pregame, he was feeling pretty good and felt more recovered from last week's contest than he would have expected. Didn't seem to think this short week was going to affect him much as he chases a big performance here in prime time.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down.
They run behind center with Gainwell. Taken down at the 30. The Lions at 500 hit 6 and 6. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down and 6.
You look at this Packers defense.
They come into this one down at the 27th position in the league, Charles, against the run.
One thing players always tell us is that they never really pay attention to numbers. I don't believe them for a second. They know where they rank, okay? They're not quite at the top, but they're far from the bottom. But let's face it, they want to move up. In order to do that, they've got to look at each other and make sure everyone's taking care of their assignments in order to play the run better.
Myers' kick is good, and the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach turned his defense. The firemen, go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. Pushes past him. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. They'll keep it on the ground. This time it's Gordon. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Now, this defense for the Lions, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for...
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
Joseph Osai.
Able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. Here's Logan Cook now to put this one away. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best, and don't worry about the rest of it.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Purdy. He'll check this one down to Gainwell. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
No surprise they decided to throw on 3rd down. A little bit of a surprise that they completed the pass and lost yardage on the play.
4th down, so they send out Trenton Gill. Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. They begin with a run by Fournette, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38. These two teams, they met in Lambeau earlier in the season with the Packers winning that ball game. So if they can win again here in Detroit, they'd pull off the season sweep. And that one too wide and incomplete. You talk about this Lions defense. They're a top 5 unit right now against the pass in the league. In fact, they sit at number 5.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they came into play here off 2 straight victories. Are back to 500 on the year. But, Charles, is this little mini run coming too late to salvage their season?
Well, they definitely dug themselves a hole, and it leaves them needing to play almost perfect football from here on out. But I do believe they think that they've got this thing turned around, and they are capable of doing exactly that.
That to the sideline and incomplete. Boy, they're going to say there's a receiver in the area. That was close to grounding, but it's 2nd down. He'll look middle here and get it to Odunze. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 1st down Lions on a pickup of 13. They'll motion the tight end across the formation. Straight ahead, it's Gainwell. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Jerome Baker there on the tackle. Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 37. And they'll stay on the ground with Gainwell again. And this will wind up a Lions 1st down as the tackle made at about the 43-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football. A couple of 1st downs, has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. From the gun, a give to Gainwell. And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard. 2nd and 9.
1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9.
Now this time they'll throw it. Here's Purdy. Open man down the field. That's Odunze. And he'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. That one good for 26 and a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just...
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Charlie Jones, his second touchdown on the season. And they're able to add on to their advantage. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Packers offense set to go. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Fournette on the toss to the right. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Here's a give up the middle. It's Gordon. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves them with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have the Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
Fournette, a first down carry. And he'll be taken down at about the 45.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It's only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. The Packers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Back to throw, Smith. And this is going to be dropped. Oh, my gracious. There was no one in his area code, but he could not hang on to it. Here's Logan Cook now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line. Let's look at Kenneth Gainwell as this offense comes back out. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down. They'll try the left side with Gainwell. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be 2nd down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. They'll come up now, 3rd and 3. Throwing here, Purdy. I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Returning it is Moore. Call it a 48-yard punt. Give them 9, though, on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Now they run from the gun with Gordon. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12. We'll see what they have drawn up here a little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. From the gun on 3rd down, Smith. He'll check this one off to Fournette. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Let's look at Kenneth Gainwell as this offense comes back out. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success at least so far here in the 2nd quarter. A very solid gain of 27. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Here's a give to... No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. Oh, and one of the linebackers has got it. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
You remember in preseason we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and, you know, guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there. Big fumble. And now the Packers get set to go. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Fournette on the counter. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. 13 yards, 1st down, Packers. They'll run it up the middle now. Gordon. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on 1st down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
A handoff, Fournette running left. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. A 4-receiver set here, 3rd and 5. Now Smith. Pass complete. George Pickens with it. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 18. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
What a drive. This has been just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Smith. Able to locate his man Slayton on an out route.
So 8 yards on the completion there, and they'll be left with second and a couple.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. 2nd and 2. First down marker at the 8.
Smith now to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Schultz.
And the Packers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
Now a timeout called for by the defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Smith throwing again. And they're going to get him. They bring him down a sack back at the 16-yard line. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Here's Smith. Looking in zone, but it's incomplete.
They were so close, that close to their first points of the game. Just needed to hang on just a second longer, but he couldn't complete the process of the catch through the jostling from the defender.
Now Smith on 3rd and goal. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Butker's kick here is good, and they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's only had a couple of carries. I mean, when you've got a horse like this, second quarter, got to start to ride that horse a little more, don't you?
You can't just neglect him. He's got to touch it, and often, in order to get maximum out of him. Typically, these types of backs, it's the accumulation of carries, and that's when you see the damage as the game goes on.
Yeah, let's see. You're going to try to get him into the flow, we would assume here.
Purdy looking to throw. He'll get this into the hands of the doom zone.
The Lions now are going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Jones.
From the 47, it's 2nd and 5.
It's the gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
Back to throw, Purdy. He'll get this complete to the tight end Barner.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here's Purdy. That's to his running back, Gainwell.
The Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
Again, it's Purdy to throw it.
Man open, here's Jones. Touchdown, Detroit.
Charlie Jones in the final seconds of the first half. And the Lions will extend their lead here just before halftime.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is now 17-3. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions.
So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play.
He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game.
As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll start in the early window and begin up in Minneapolis. A tough one for the homestanding Vikings, as they'll be forced to reckon with the Atlanta Falcons. Good games in the late afternoon as well. One being out in Santa Clara, where it'll be the 49ers taking on the Chicago Bears. And one final game to highlight is the Sunday night extravaganza. And they've got a good one this week between the LA Chargers and the Kansas City Chiefs. We saw a fine performance in the first half from the former Mr. Irrelevant, Brock Purdy. He came on after a slow start to fire 2 second-quarter touchdown passes and give his guys the lead at the intermission.
And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. The Lions offense and Brock Purdy getting ready for this next possession. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys are lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
7 yards there on a first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Ball start, offense.
Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
Purdy will set up to throw it here. Open man is Barner, the tight end. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty. From just shy of midfield, here's 2nd and 3. They go play action here. Purdy. He's got it at the 15. And he's going to get this down inside of Green Bay's 15-yard line. That one good for 37 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Jones now in motion left. Purdy now to throw. And that'll be dumped off to Gainwell. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. 11 more on that one and another first down.
That's another Lions.
And now whistles and a flag. And I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
Purdy will look to throw again here. This is caught. Only a yard in the completion. It's 2nd and goal.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Now Purdy. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Kenneth Gainwell taking it in. And the Lions take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, Methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, you mentioned that slowly but surely, you also drain clock too with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Another drive coming up for this Packers offense. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Call it a gain of a yard, and now that sets up 3rd and 2.
They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And Gordon's going to be stopped short. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Here's Logan Cook now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line.
And Detroit back in possession of the football. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They have picked up right where they left off in half number 1, just looking really dominant, extending this lead.
And it's fun to see when teams actually do that, because so many times
Taking it right down Broadway.
Off to the races. Inside the 20.
Touchdown, Detroit.
Kenneth Gainwell with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Lions are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort, and results in the touchdown.
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
Now come the Packers for their next drive as we take a look at the playoff race in the NFC coming into the weekend.
Now the current playoff picture, and you can see they are one of those 3 wild card teams, at least for the moment, but they have not clinched that spot, Charles. And look, their message has been clear. We're keeping our foot on the gas to the very end.
And how about the theater and the drama that's involved, partner? The best part, we've got a front row seat to it all. And I think this is obviously the ultimate goal when they added a 7th seed to the playoffs back in 2020. More drama, more teams in it late in the season, and more importance on games like this.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Throwing now is Gino. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback.
The home team's offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. Purdy off the play fake.
Looking middle, and that's complete. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And the tight end goes in motion left.
On the counter, it's Gainwell.
And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's a 2nd down and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Purdy. Setting up the screen with Gainwell.
Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
He's had success running the football, and this is more or less an extension of that because they drop it off to him on the screen. And I'll bet he's thinking to himself, if I didn't have to slow up a bit here in traffic, I could have really made something out of that one.
On 3rd down, here's Bigsby.
And down he goes, but the stiff arm utilized effectively there, and it helps him move the sticks.
And the Lions, first down. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Purdy now to throw off the play action. This one into the hands of Will Mallory.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit.
Will Mallory.
52 yards.
And the Lions get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up the secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd down and 7.
Throwing is Smith. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
From the gun on 3rd down, Smith. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Yeah, that's a 48-yard punt with the coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And the Lions will take over.
The home team's offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. He'll check this one down to Gainwell.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
And they'll try and run for it with Gainwell. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. He decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. On 1st and 10, it's Bigsby. Takes it to about the 37.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
Call that a gain of 5 as the clock ticks inside of 2 minutes to go now in the third. Throwing here, Purdy. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. With that catch, he goes over 100 yards receiving on the night. Play action, and now here's Purdy to throw it. He'll find Gainwell out of the backfield. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll bring up second down.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the Packers 47.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for
Neutral zone
jumping.
infraction, defense.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now a handoff to Bigsby. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4. 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Already a pair of third down conversions for them on this drive, but right now they need 5 yards on this third down try.
Ball start, offense.
And this offense back to needing 10 yards after the false start. 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun. Purdy. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Play action. Now Purdy. And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Smith. And that's checked down to Gordon. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. Loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. Smith. And his throw is incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Being chased out left. 5 yards that time out of the scramble, but now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. This offense and their running back headed back onto the field. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put in number one for what we've seen this season.
50 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. Here's Guerrero on first down. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. On the carry, Bigsby. Powerful running. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
10 yards on the pickup. It's second and inches.
Purdy going to give it to Guerrero. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
5-yard gain on the play. That's good for the Lions.
A run here with Bigsby. Wiggles free. Nifty move. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Here's Bigsby. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. They'll try the middle with Guerrero. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. The offense on 3rd down tonight, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 10. They'll bring the tight end in motion right. On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And they're knocking on the door now. There's a good run there. Going to take this to about the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes a defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
Handoff here, Guerrero. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. 3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. From the gun, Bigsby. And he'll get nothing out of that one. Call it no gain on the play, so no help there. And now 4th and goal. Out is Myers for the Seahawk field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Myers' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. We're ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. This one certainly has not gone according to script. You would have thought on paper that this offense would have its way here, but they certainly have not, and they trail big. After this, it figures to be a quiet trip home. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Once again, he finds Slayton. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
It's a gain of 6. First down, Green Bay.
Now Geno. Looking for Pickens. He's got him on the out route.
Only able to gain a couple there, and that will bring up second down.
A gain of 2. Brings up 2nd and 8.
Geno now to throw. Now, quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Now, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
A good-looking drive for the Packers so far. It's a first down.
Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Now Smith. And he'll go right back to Moore. Complete again.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5.
Here's Smith.
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Give that sack to Nakobe Dean. Well, this game, it was well in hand early, never really in doubt. Charles, you and I do so many games together. There's so much parity in the NFL, a lot of close battles. This was not one. Tip your cap to them for a really impressive effort.
Yeah, and you know, as the game went on, I think the defense kind of got together and said, you see our guys on offense, they're just putting up point after point. We need to leave our mark somehow, too, and they did it, pitching a second-half shutout.
So for Detroit, they move back over 500 at 7-6. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, they can ill afford to drop too many more as they fall to 7-6 on the year. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Seahawks in Seattle. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.